Okay, you might want to get the shovel out of the garage or, salt, those other things that we need to do every year. Less and less, though, year over year. Toronto's under a special weather statement now, though. It's not even winter. Dave Phillips is Senior Climatologist for Environment Canada, joining us with what we may be in for. Now, I say may, Dave, because based on our meteorologists here at CTV News particularly, they talk about how things could, based on how they were adjusting, we could be getting either a lot of snow or more wet stuff. So what is it looking like it's shoring up to be now?
Well, Andrew, you're right. There's a lot of uncertainty, even with just 24 hours away, about this storm. And it's just the track. Is it going to be south of Toronto, which gets more in the cool air and give us maybe more snow? Or will it track north of Toronto? And that will put us more in the mild air. And the difference between being -1 or +1 can make the difference between whether it's going to be rain or snow. And this is about the time what you expected in Toronto. Normally around Remembrance Day, as we get our first dusting of snow. Last Sunday, we had our first frost. This Sunday, we're going to get our first snow. But, the range is quite wide, Andrew. It's from, say, 2 to 10 centimeters of snow in most parts of southern Ontario, the Niagara Peninsula, maybe up even Cottage Country. But in Toronto, we maybe see 2 to 4. Now, another factor that's important, Andrew, is that we've had 6 months of warmer than normal temperatures. So the ground is warm, the roads are warm. So when that white stuff falls, well, some of it's going to melt because the ground is just so warm and it's not going to accumulate. So we may see it starting off as kind of wet snow and then not really accumulating. And then finally we get more snow around noonday, say tomorrow noon, and then we're going to start accumulating it. The winds are going to be up about 30, gusting up to 50. So we might see a little bit of blowing and drifting. But Andrew, this is not our big storm of the year, but it's important. It's the first one. Because in the first one, doesn't matter how just a dusting of snow, it can cause chaos on streets. We still drive like it's in summer. So we have to kind of get used to the road conditions. Now, it's Sunday, so thankfully it's not Monday morning or Tuesday morning where there'd be more chaos. So, we have gents, and even snowplow operators are kind of rookies. They don't know the routes, maybe. They just are not out of rehearsal. So, it's there are a few things against us from that point of view. But, hey, I think we're going to see our first one. But, Andrew, this is not your white Christmas snow. You're not going to ski on this because, it's going to be around for maybe a couple of days sitting on the ground. But hey, I would say about a week from now, we might be up to double-digit temperatures again, and it'll all melt. So this is kind of like a dress rehearsal. Hey, get used to it. Now, I think that it's important. We should probably do a good day today to rake the leaves. You won't be shoveling, but you'll be shoveling tomorrow maybe, but rake the leaves today and then find out where your snow shovel is. Where is that brush? Fill up the antifreeze in your car. All those things. Snow tires. Well, if you haven't got them on now, maybe you should think about that. So, hey, these are things nature's giving us kind of a little heads up. This is saying, all right, get ready. It's coming. You're not going to avoid it, but it's not going to be memorable snowfall.
Well, that's okay, Dave. For what it's worth, I really like this idea about having a collective dress rehearsal when it comes to winter. Because yes. I always jokingly say I love snow, but I jokingly tell people all the time it doesn't belong in city limits. As soon as you get inside a city, it shouldn't exist. It should not be there. So if we all have to deal with the snow, why don't we have a day like this one tomorrow where it's potentially our dress rehearsal day?
Andrew, you're so right, because we procrastinate. We know we live in the second coldest country in the world, the snowiest country in the world. But, winter comes and we think, oh, my gosh, what is this? We only saw that last April. Well, you only saw it a few months ago, and we still have to drive like it's never been seen before. So we procrastinate. We don't do things in the head until we have to do it. Well, tomorrow you're going to have to do things. And so my sense is that get ready for it, but it's not going to be a terrible, terrible day. But in terms of preparing for it, it's always a little tough. Even a skiff of snow in Toronto can cause chaos. Hey, this is Sunday, not Monday, so we're fortunate from that point of view.
Dave, I know we have to go very quickly, but I want to ask a climatology question versus just doing a very quick, just looking. You said before that we normally get a dusting around this time of year. generally. That's normal for Toronto. Now, as we've been seeing climate change, global warming, as you want to call it, as we've been seeing the growth and the changes that we've been seeing from climate change, are we seeing less overall accumulation year over year in Toronto?
Well, Andrew, I think the season has changed. You know, most often we used to have our first snow by October. Now we can go into December for the snow. So the winter season is shorter, but, you know, it varies from one year to the next. You know, last year, for example, Andrew, we had probably about 20% more snow than normal. The year before, it felt like more like Vancouver. It was more fog and rain and less snow. So it varies from year to year depending upon the weather. So, hey, this is what we're used to. I mean, if you don't like the weather out your front door, look out your back door. I mean, it changes. And so we need to be prepared for almost any kind of weather.
I'm going to be looking at the back door of someone who owns a home in Tahiti, but I'll leave it to you. Dave, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you for joining us this weekend.